Hey, welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
All right.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas.
Hello, I'm Billy Cobbin with Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home.
Hey, it's Kaye Boehning with Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools.
Good morning, Huntsville.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm Karen.
I'm Toy. And I'm Denise.
And from all of us at Walker County Federal Credit Union, good morning, Huntsville.
Okay. It's kind of scary.
He is starting the morning off by breaking the camera.
Hey, look,
Good job, Rob.
I get to do something to Rick this morning. Watch this. Look, see his little fuzzy? There you go. Look at that. I got to push your little windscreen back on. There it is. All right. Welcome in. I was watching some of the DNC stuff last night and on Fox News, and one of the reporters, he was also at the RNC, and they put him in a box like right near the stage, but it looks like he's so far away, but he's really not. He's right close to the stage. Guess what he was wearing? These exact ones.
Really?
The most common issue with these, and these are good headsets, by the way, but the most common issue with these headsets are this right here. These little fuzzies. Well, now, of course, oh, wait. Y'all have different ones than me. These little fuzzies pop off really easy on y'all's headsets. Guess what? His didn't have the fuzzy. And so when he was talking,
You could hear the yeah.
You know, they call it plosives. You could hear all that because he didn't have the windscreen on. Some news you can use this morning on Good Morning Huntsville. Very important news this morning.
Yes.
You would
I
think that
agree.
high up they would have.
They would have people monitoring that, right?
Yeah.
They would have an FAA checklist of what everything you need to do. Well, they didn't. The fuzzy was gone. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear.
Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair.
Fuzzy Wuzzy didn't care.
Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't there.
Is that really how it goes?
No, it wasn't.
Man, that was
But the Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't there.
Yeah, that was, man, I love it. All right. Well, hey, we're already off and rolling this morning. Thanks for joining us on another edition of Good Morning Huntsville. Check it out. Look, I'm going to get right to a person messaging us this morning. It's my good friend Phyllis Dillard, who is engaging with the show. And Phyllis always says, well, I'm not that good with technology. Phyllis, you are a technology whiz, and you don't even know it. And she commented in right away this morning and said, great program. And it was because we started with you guys on the camera first.
Is that what it was?
So that is going to be the all-new way that we start the program now.
I don't think we should do that. I was watching it on your monitor there, and I almost Got up and ran.
I should
Just
have.
has a way to wake everybody up.
It is. Steph Valley, Magnolia Kennel already with us. I should have this morning. You know what I should have done, Rick? And I didn't even think about it. I messed up this morning.
What?
I really should have put a green screen on this morning.
So we'd be invisible?
Only because, yes, that's exactly right. Only so you guys would be invisible this
Be
morning.
disembodied heads?
And, there you go. See that?
Oh,
there you
look.
go.
Now we're black.
We've turned you this way. And watch this. This is where we get to have a little fun, on the show. So we have you there. This is why if you're listening on the Spirit Radio FM app, you don't get to see our fun antics. You have to be part of the live stream on the show. You have to be part of the live stream on social media. So see, here's what we can do, Rick. Just because I'm feeling generous this morning, and I just wanted to make sure that you guys were
Sunshiny?
We're bright and sunshiny this morning. And so here is on. You know what? I already had this. So here we go. Look, there's this, right?
Yeah.
All right, now
You're
watch.
about to be impaled by a kite.
Now here we go. We're just going to keep coming down, 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 down. Oh, there you go. Oh man, look at y'all.
That is so bright.
Boy, look at y'all's bright sunshiny shirts today.
That's great.
Hello, how you doing there? We never get to have this kind of fun live. See, this is what I love about doing these shows live. If we were recording this would never happen, and it wouldn't be fun. It would just be. It would be scripted. If you record things, they're scripted. We would have never decided this
You
morning.
don't want
that we
me to
were gonna
write
do
the
this.
script, did
We would not. So there you go. I'll take this back off, and boom, you're back green again. So good morning.
That's amazing.
Kay's looking at me like you're wasting our time doing this, Rob.
Well,
No, I was waiting for the back to go to something.
I play
'cause,
with Zoom like
but you
that,
took
too.
your screen down and, so.
And I had
forgot.
Hey, so here's something. Here's more news you can use this morning.
Good batches.
Yeah, it flowed. This would have actually zoomed out too. I didn't even realize that. So, do y'all go to Costco? I know you're more of a Sammer.
Yeah,
right? Sam's.
I've never been to Costco.
Costco has Kirkland is their brand, just like Sam's is what? What's
Members
their,
Mark.
Members Mark. So Kirkland is like the Members Mark of Costco. A lot of great things. They even make golf clubs, like Kirkland golf clubs. So apparently, they're pretty good golf clubs. I don't know. I don't play golf.
I don't either. And we live right there in Elkins.
Yeah, part of our HOA is
Yeah.
you pay to play, and we never play. Rick, let's do that. We'll do a video.
At least go to the driving range.
Yes, we need to do that. So I'm horrible. I hit 1 out of 10.
I've never been to the driving range.
Never.
Never.
How long have you lived out there?
20 years.
Well, if they want a divot or a trench dug somewhere, we'll just put you and I in that area of the
I won't
the yard.
do that. I am a very good golfer in Louise.
Seriously, 20 years, and have you ever been to the course out there?
I've been out to the clubhouse and looked at the course.
This is great news, Rick, because I am a horrible golfer, and I don't go because I'm so terrible. It's one of those things to where, oh, come on, let's go play and have some business people, invite you to play golf. I won't do it because I'll probably lose a bunch of business deals if I go play with these guys. This is great news this morning because here I've got a friend who doesn't play, who will be just as, or maybe even worse than I. And so I won't feel bad when I'm out there missing the golf balls.
Do you know what Mark Twain said about golf?
What is that?
It's a good walk spoiled.
Did he really?
Yes.
All right, Mark Twain. Little Wednesday wisdom from Rick this morning. So we'll do that, Rick. We'll hire a videographer to come out there. We'll shoot some scenes.
Do I get to drive the golf cart?
Yes, you can drive the golf cart, and we'll have someone video this golf
You can have Kaye do it.
golf masquerade. We'll see how it works out.
No, the whole thing would be like this because I'd be laughing too hard at you two.
All right. Well, we are excited to be here this morning as we celebrate all things good happening here in Huntsville, Texas, as we roll on another edition of your show. It's Good Morning Huntsville, episode 335, and we're feeling alive here on a wonderful Wednesday. As always, big thank you to Paul Oley of the Gallery.
We love you,
We
Paul.
love you, Paul.
I'm going to just pause right here for like 5 seconds.
So,
Does it feel weird? Like you're talking and then all of a sudden it's just like this.
that's dead air.
What goes through your mind when that happens? What are you thinking? Like, say something.
About what?
No, but are you thinking that?
No, I wasn't thinking that at all.
If there's a pause, you're not. What are you thinking? Like right now, I'm going to pause for 3 seconds.
Have you been inside my mind? There's nothing there.
I was going to say, I ask him often, what's he thinking? He's like, nothing. And I'm like, really?
I'm okay with that, too.
And then he's like, what are you thinking about? I go, and
Do you really, when you think, does your brain really just nothing sometimes?
No, there's always something going on in there.
I wonder how you.
Why she asked me what I'm thinking?
Isn't it called mindfulness? Like, have you ever heard of that before? Some people, they do these mindfulness, like meditations, and it's just where you're aware of your surroundings, I guess. And I have no idea how it works. There was a guy back in Georgetown that he had a business that did this kind of stuff. I was like, cool, you can have a business of getting people not to think about anything. I said, man, that sounds like a great idea. He did very well, though. I'm not knocking the guy. It was a pretty cool thing that he did.
I read somewhere the other day that some people don't have an internal voice.
Really?
Yeah.
are those psychopaths?
Mine sounds like Bob Newhart. So.
Mine would. I'm trying to think of what mine would sound. Mine would sound like David Letterman, I think. I miss David Letterman. He was one of the last of the Mohicans whenever it came to late night. I think Jay Leno was the last of the last.
Yeah.
And then after that, I quit watching it. I was reading something yesterday that Jimmy Kimmel says that he believes in the next 10 years that news radio will no longer be a thing, and that late night talk shows will be done for. And this is coming from a guy that does a late night talk show. So,
I'm not a big fan of him anyway.
I was going to say, depending on what the talk show's about, I would think would be.
Yeah, maybe he was talking about his own show. It's not going to be a thing.
Could be.
It's not going to be a thing. All right, well, Paul Lee, the Gallery, for all of your custom framing, photography, and more. It's Paul Lee, the Gallery, 1201 University. Go by and see him. Let him know you heard about him here on Good Morning Huntsville. Also, a huge thank you to our friend Elliot Herzig of Elliot's Jewelers and online at elliotsjewelers.com. We are going to have our friends from Care Center Huntsville on this show coming up in just a couple of weeks, maybe a week or two. Jackie Barham is the executive director over there at the Care Center. Wonderful pro-life organization that helps women and families as they are going through the pregnancy process, providing them resources that they need and so much more. Elliot and I were talking, and we just have a heart, to help these local area nonprofits like we do with Tomorrow's Promise and what you guys are doing with the upcoming events. But as I was talking to Elliot, we were thinking about, this would be a great organization that has some needs as well, specifically in the children's arena with babies and with new parents. And so we're going to be announcing a program coming up that she will be on the show on y'all's day, by the way.
Good.
So she will be here on September the 4th, and they are getting ready to have a fundraiser that they do every year, an annual program. And so we've teamed up with Elliot. It was an idea that he had, and we're working together here on Hello Huntsville for an opportunity to help out our friends at Care Center Huntsville. So, again, I'm excited. They're going to be on y'all's day.
Good.
So she'll come in.
I just recently went over there and
Wait a minute, Rick.
talked to.
No. No.
Well, if you had not
Congratulations,
interrupted
y'all.
me.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
But I gave, they have a class, of expectant moms and dads and stuff. And I gave a class on the importance of brain development and reading to your child and everything. And it went very, very well.
And not letting them tablets babysit the kid.
Yeah.
Boy, Richard and Linda Horn sent me a video. I don't know if y'all were listening to the show earlier this week. Earlier, it's only been 2 days. It seems like it's like Friday.
It should be.
It seems like there's 14-day weeks now for some reason. It's like, we had 2 Fridays this week. I was talking, I think it was on Monday. Richard and Linda had sent me this. And it was a video that literally teared me up. And they call it the iPad Kids.
Mm-hmm.
And
I shared it on Facebook.
boy, did you see that? And these babies are sitting there. One of them was in the fetal position screaming and didn't even have the iPad and was going like this.
Yeah.
And I immediately thought of UK because we always talk about how serious, technology is and kids and how, everything can be good, but also it can be used for bad. And when you're allowing these devices to babysit your children, it's a very bad thing. And teachers were talking about, a 7th grade teacher said, my entire class has the reading level of a 4th grader. 3 grades behind. Because
I'm actually surprised it's that high.
Yeah, I was going to say, he may have said, he said 4th grade, but I'm sitting there thinking like you. I was like, man, some of these kids, it's just tough how dependent they have become on these devices.
It's because that stimulates the area of the brain that, like, crack cocaine goes to.
It's like dopamine, right?
It's
there.
like giving your baby crack. And then people wonder why they throw fits and everything. It's like withdrawing from crack.
There was several people that commented on that and said, no, this is just like the modern day television. And I said, no, because when I was growing up, I watched TV, but I wasn't addicted to TV. TV wasn't portable. That's the problem. These devices, you can carry them with you everywhere you go. How many times did you go into your local diner, sit at the table, and someone had a big CRT monitor on the table with their children? Never. You couldn't carry them around. You couldn't carry around your cabinet RCA TV, the old cabinet with a handle. You couldn't roll. What, are you going to roll that thing into the restaurant and put it in front of your kid on the table? No. That's why these things are so addictive, because of the portability of them as well. So, no, it's nothing like TV, because I watched TV, but I wasn't addicted. I didn't have to have TV. I didn't scream. Now, I did scream when the Nintendo got turned off. That was addicting.
Yeah. I remember putting a lock through the little plug-in on it so the kids couldn't plug it in.
Did you really?
I really did. Because they wouldn't do the dishes.
You better do the dishes before you play this Nintendo. Anyways.
They did the dishes one time.
Yeah, they did the dishes, and I found them underneath the sink.
Oh, man. But
these were prior to him being married to me. This was his other set of children.
Great job, Rick. Lock it down, man.
I did.
But anyways, this whole conversation started somehow. It's talking about Elliott's Jewelers. It turned into Care Center, turned into screens, which is okay. That's what we do on this show.
That's how my brain works.
That's how, yeah.
That's why, that mindfulness, I think the people closest to me would pay to have a few things, have my brain calm down just a bit.
Rick is saying, yeah. Rick just pulled out his
Everything I own.
Rick just pulled out his credit card and said, Rob, do you have a way to swipe this? It literally behind your back, he was handing me a credit card with his third arm back there. But no, big thank you to Elliott's Jewelers for all of your jewelry needs online at elliotsjewelers.com. We appreciate Elliott. Again, stay tuned in. On September the 4th, we'll reveal this great partnership that we are going to work with our friends at Care Center of Huntsville. And, of course, here on this wonderful, wacky Wednesday with our great friend. Kaye just looked at me like, wait a minute. It is a wacky Wednesday. It's always a fun, wacky Wednesday here. Wonderful, wacky, not woeful, but wonderful Wednesday here on the show. Big thank you to Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. They are the early childhood education experts here in our community. 3 locations to serve you. More information online at tomorrowspromise.info. Kaye, summer is winding down. What does it look like for you guys? I know the children are always there, but what kind of happens during this part of the year as summer winds down and children are going back to school at Tomorrow's Promise?
Oh, it's a major shift. We go from doing the field trips and things like that almost every day to now we're doing these bus runs to and from school. After schoolers, instead of being there all day, or they're just the morning and the evening. Then the little ones still continue on their main thing of what we've been doing. But
and then you'll have children though moving up into new classes too. That just recently happened.
Yeah. We did something new this year. We moved like almost entire classes up at one time, and I'm not sure that was. I think I like it better when we move 1 or 2 children up every month kind of thing, instead of moving like 5 or 6 to 10 up at one time. I'm not sure I like that.
Well, if you don't, like Justin always says, you don't know if you don't try.
Yeah.
So you got to try.
This was a new thing to, kind of have major class movement.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Our little boy sure loves it. He doesn't want to leave. And I've told you this before, but I go to pick. I'm like, fine, I'll just keep him, I guess, because I go to grab him, and he's like holding on to the teacher. I'm like, come on, Daddy's here. And then once he finally realizes Daddy really is there, then then of course he reaches out for me. But Y'all have just done such an incredible job with our children. I'm just amazed, and I know I mention it every single week, and I'll continue to mention it. I mention it in the public even when we're not on the show, just how much my children have grown and learned being at Tomorrow's Promise. I was talking to somebody last night, and immediately, Rick, you won't like this because I had an idea for your beautiful bride over here. But I was in New Waverly, and they were up there telling me, yeah, it's hard to find, people with childcare up here. I said, Kaye ought to open up Tomorrow's Promise New Waverly. Rick's over there like, don't tell her that.
Don't tell her that.
But that community's growing, and it would be, I was sitting there
We've
thinking.
looked at property up there prior to doing veterans, prior to doing the academy over in veterans. We looked at property there.
There goes Irma driving by the way. So good morning to Irma. She works over at the voter registration office. So you better get registered. Is it too late to register? I still see signs all over that says register to vote. I don't know when.
I've not been registered for years.
It's weird, the voting thing, and I need to get I need to get Irma to come on or Miss McCrae to come on and talk more about some of this, because I know, like, when I was first 18, 19, it was a really big deal to vote. It still is. It's huge. You need to vote. I'm just going to tell you straight up. You need to vote. But it was like, I remember in Georgetown, I had to go to this specific place. I couldn't just go anywhere. And it seems like nowadays you can kind of just go anywhere because they have the record of it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember having to go to a specific place to vote.
You had to go to this specific place to vote.
On only one day, and there was a small window of time to go, like 7 to 7 or something.
And I'm going to be honest, like, it used to be more difficult, and I was okay with that. I was
too.
I was okay with there being a process. Now it just seems like anybody can just be like, I'm here to vote, and then they just check one little thing, and you're good to go. And it makes you wonder, and I'm not getting conspiracy or political, but it just makes you wonder how many votes are legitimate. And I'm not going to go down.
The mail-in stuff. I mean, how do you approve that?
It reminded me of, you remember when Bush Jr. and Al Gore were at it, and it came down to Miami-Dade. Remember that? Mm-hmm. And it was the Chads.
Yeah.
The Chads. And, boy, if you had to name a Chad back then, you were popular. That was the name to be. And I remember the photos of those guys holding up the voting ballots, and they were looking at the Chads to make sure, like, oh, that one kind of looks like, remember that? It was a huge deal. It was all over the news, and, well, that one kind of looks like it's punched out, but that one's not really. I'm like, how? So now it's up to, so I do like the aspect of the electronic voting in some ways, but then in some ways I'm like, well, it's connected to the internet. Did you just hear a while back there was a news story that came across, and I don't know the validity of it, that said that every single American's Social Security number was compromised.
Mm-hmm.
Fabulous.
Every single billion. I mean, it was millions and millions of Social Security numbers. Hackers had somehow tapped into the database and have that information now. And I'm wondering if that's true, how many of our mailboxes are going to get flooded now with, oh, here's your 30-day of courtesy identity theft protection.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. We got a good show lined up today as we continue on. Our friend Terri Coleman Real Estate, our real estate expert here on Hello Huntsville, joining us. And we've got more information about this settlement that's coming down. We just posted an article last night about it. Terri's going to talk more about it and how it could affect you as a home buyer or someone looking to sell your home. So some very important information that we're going to keep you locked and loaded in as well. We do want to let you know, we'll flash the keyword up again as we continue on, and we thought, Kaye and Rick, because kids are going back to school, I don't want to throw you under it.
A sub? Why would you throw me under a sub?
Bus. Bus is sub. You're reading it backwards there, Rick. Bus. The keyword is bus. It was funny back in the day. I rode bus 10 was my bus. I remember the first bus I rode was 43. It's weird how you remember these things that aren't even like that important. My first bus ever was bus 43, and then my second bus was bus 10. We had 2 buses, and I rode the bus all the way through being a senior in high school. We called it the Big Yellow Loser Cruiser, and I was happy to be on that bad boy. Because when you're a senior riding a school bus, I finally got a truck like the last 3 months of school. But when you're a senior in high school riding the school bus, it's got that little seat in the very back. Those junior high kids knew to get up and give me that seat. I had a little bit of, I wouldn't say like authority, but a little respect there because, you go from like the ninth grade kid was the oldest next to me, and then it was like you skip 3 grades, and here's this senior riding the bus, and even the little kids, why are you riding the bus? Why don't you have a car? Well, that's the way the cookie crumbles, young man.
Sometimes.
But bus is the key word, and all you got to do is text in bus along with your name on the 0 Degree Creations phone and text line. We got $20 coming your way. We'll do a little cash today. So all you got to do is text in bus along with your name on the 0 Degree Creations phone and text line. That number, 936-339-0139. Hey, $20. That'll get you something to eat today, and we'd love to send it to you. Again, bus along with your name. Text that in on the 0 Degree Creations phone and text line, 936-339-0139. As always, our wonderful Wednesdays brought to you by our great friends at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. Over 25 years of excellence here in Huntsville and throughout Walker County. We'll step aside, take a break. We've got more to come. Terri Coleman joins us on the other side. Stay with us. It's your show. This is Good Morning Huntsville.
Here we grow again. Tomorrow's Promise is excited to announce our 3rd location to better serve the families of Walker County and surrounding areas. At Tomorrow's Promise, we are more than just childcare. We pride ourselves on partnering with parents and creating a place where every child is respected, loved, and nurtured in the highest quality environment. See what makes us the perfect fit for your child and their needs. Schedule a tour and learn more about Montessori.
Tomorrow's Promise Academy on Veterans Memorial now open. Visit tpms.live for more information. Education you can trust.
Hi, I'm Billy Coleman, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Welcome to Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville, where we've been caring for your furry family members for over 4 decades. Nestled at 877 IH 45 South, our kennel is a perfect retreat for your pet. With a climate-controlled facility, spacious exercise yards, we ensure a comfortable and enjoyable stay. At Magnolia Kennel, we offer a range of options including overnight boarding, extended stay boarding, and doggy day out. But that's not all. We also provide additional pampering services like baths and nail care to keep your pets looking and feeling their best. Making a reservation is a breeze at magnoliakennel.com. We take great pride in our dedication to the community, supporting our local fire departments by providing oxygen pet masks. Stay connected and enjoy adorable pet updates by following us on Facebook. Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville is where dogs get to be dogs. Visit us at magnoliakennel.com to book your pet's next stay. We can't wait to meet your 4-legged family members.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based 501c3 nonprofit Christian character building ministry helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addictions. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. For more information, visit oakridgedisciplehouse.com.
Hey friends, Rob Hipp here for Elliott's Jewelers. I wanted to take a brief moment to let you know if you're looking for someone in the jewelry business right here in Huntsville, look no further than my good friend Elliot Herslick. He's helped me out time and time again, whether it was that wedding band that I needed a while back or that special ring for Bridget. He's always been there for me. He goes above and beyond. He's also a person who gives back to the local community. I like to do business with those who give back, and that's exactly what Elliot Herslick of Elliot's Jewelers does. Hey, if you feel like you don't know what to do, maybe you don't know where to turn, what to look for, Elliot is the person. Again, it's Elliot's Jewelers. You can visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com for more information. And when you call him, let him know that you heard from his good friend Rob Hipp. Again, it's Rob here for Elliot's Jewelers. Visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based 501c3 nonprofit Christian character building ministry helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addictions. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. For more information, visit oakridgedisciplehouse.com.
This is Kaye Boehning with Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools, and you're listening to Spirit Radio.
This is KHSP LP, Huntsville, Texas, the spirit of Huntsville.
All right, friends, continuing on, 8:04 in the morning is you're waking up with us. Many of you already at work, maybe on your way to work. We want to welcome you in. Always a pleasure to be with you every single morning. I look forward to doing this show every day, Kay.
Good.
You know, I got through you get through that honeymoon phase, like the first month. I'll be honest, I was like, I don't know if I could sustain this. Not from lack of support. The community's been great. It's just like the endurance part of it. And then I realized, yeah, this is awesome. And now it's just became a thing. Yeah. And it's a lot of fun.
Well, that's what Montessori's goal was, that, you know, we call what the children do work because they want to work to be like us. And that's basically what they do. They mimic everything they see you do and try to become you. Like, I've told people I never taught them how to open a door because I don't want them opening doors and walking out. But, you know, they mimic and try to learn everything we do. And so, ideally, when you grow up, you're, you know, and the children are like, I'm just playing, but they're actually working to be like us. And so, ideally, when you grow up, your job should be play. You should enjoy it. It shouldn't be something that you dread going to and things like that. There's something you were made to do, and you need to find that something that you were made to do so you enjoy your life.
I love that. That's the inspiration this morning, by the way. Mm-hmm. So, well, hey, welcome back. 73 degrees as we are up and rolling here on another beautiful morning. Heat advisory in effect, 98 degrees today. A little bit cooler, but the heat index still at 106. Yesterday, I think, was one of the hottest days we've had. My goodness. It was not fun, Terri.
I was out and about yesterday afternoon. Very hot.
Well, Terri Coleman with us. Can y'all slide in just a little bit? Just a little bit. There you go. We didn't do our FAA flight checklist before the commercial break.
Well, we just keep slowly rolling downhill.
Terri, what's going on? You may have to hold that microphone just a little bit. But yeah, good to see you this morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Welcome back.
And I have to tell you, this is a great thing that you did for Huntsville, putting this show on.
Well, y'all do it, not me.
It's just been great. We've really enjoyed it. Thank you.
You bet. Well, y'all do it, not me. I'm just privileged to sit here and yak for an hour. Y'all are the ones that provide the insight. People, when they hear me, they're like, Rob, could you please shut your mouth? I'm tired of listening at you. So, well, Terri, what's going on? What's new in your world? I know we've had you on quite frequently here, catching up on a few days from your vacay, but always a pleasure. You're always welcome. What's been going on?
Thank you. Oh, just the life of real estate. Things are moving here in Huntsville. People are coming in. It's just steady. People say, well, how's real estate? Well, it's steady. We're doing good.
You know what I love about having you on here? And I was thinking about this. How many organizations can say that they have their own real estate expert? Hello, Huntsville.
I don't know.
Hello, Huntsville we have our own real estate expert.
That's true. That's true.
Terri Coleman. So, well, hey, we forgot the intro, Terri. What's going on here? Here we go. This is very important.
If you need to borrow a cup of sugar or just have some real estate questions, I'm your next door neighbor, Terri Coleman. And it's real sugar. This time.
This is very real sugar. Kaye pointed it out last time it was flour.
Yes, she did. She threw me under the bus, which happens to be the key word today, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Just in full disclosure, I made sure this morning.
That's right. She did. She did.
Yeah. She goes, that looks like sugar. And Rick noticed he said the granules are there. So.
Well, you know how this came about was a good friend of mine that we used to work together, Kelly Lawson, who's an excellent realtor herself. We were together in an office, Mariner Realty, that no longer exists. It was bought out by Caldwell Bankers. But she and I were talking, and we were just kind of creating new things that we could become our brand. And she said, well, you've been in the real estate business for so long. You're so old in the real estate business.
Gee.
Why don't you do, and this was actually her idea. She said, you've been around so long, it's sort of like you're the next door neighbor. People can just come to you and borrow sugar, borrow butter, ask you a question here or there. You're just the next door neighbor. So that's how that came about. So, and then I thought it was corny, but it just kind of clicked. And so I've been doing it now for, I don't know, several years now, and I've kept that I'm your next door neighbor tag on all my signs and stuff. But
yeah, I love it.
And then back when we used to do Facebook Live on all my listings, I would always have that. So I don't know, it's just kind of became that. But it was actually Kelly Lawson's idea, who is a great realtor herself.
Love that. It's always good to have, and I love yours because it's unique. Because I was thinking as you were talking about this. You remember this. Back in the day, I remember seeing every single real estate sign. And what did it have? It had the agent with the flip phone like this. Do you remember those?
Yes, yes.
Did you ever have that one?
No, I never had that one.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
I know what you're talking about. Yes, it was the deal.
And it was kind of like, I'm always here for you. And I remember even the business cards. It wasn't like the regular photo. It was always like, I'm here for you. And yours is so unique. That's why I like it.
That's right. No one can copy it.
Well, before we dig into today's topic, we want to talk about everything that's coming down from the National Association of Realtors and their nationwide settlement. We always highlight this first. Terri comes on the show, usually with different jewelry, always gorgeous. What do you have for us today?
Well, today, and I looked hard because I knew you were going to ask. I was like, okay, what have I not worn? This necklace here, this pendant, is actually called a ruby fuchsionite.
Oh, wow.
And it's a stone. It's a real stone. It's got crushed ruby in it. It's got some turquoise and some other things. And it's actually mined somewhere out of Utah is where it's mined. But it's a real stone. I got it. We were on vacation visiting some friends in Arizona. And we were at the little town that has all the donkeys that run through it. Ottman, is that the town?
Where's this at?
In Arizona.
Didn't know this.
Ottman. And it's through this little town, they have these wild donkeys that run through.
Well, we have several of those here in Huntsville.
Yeah, but I don't think you call them donkeys. These are the real donkeys. And so it was just in one of the little gift shops, and I thought that is very unusual. So I got it. And I'm glad I did, so I could talk about it on Rob's show.
Well, can I ask you about the blue ring, too?
Oh.
I've never seen that one before.
Oh, you haven't? This is my blue topaz ring.
Wow.
And it's another piece of jewelry that back when I owned the Raven Antique Store, one of my vendors was a jewelry person. And it was my 5th anniversary, and Max bought it for me. And it's real. It's a real blue topaz.
Did you, whenever you had that, was it like consignment where people would come in and have their own little space, or how did it work?
Yes.
So my question now is, did you get first dibs on the cool stuff that came in?
Pretty much. Pretty much. That's the
That's
perks,
the perks
the
of
owner.
it.
Perks of the owner. So, yeah. So I rented out spaces, and then they, put their stuff in, and then I manned it.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was one of the first antique stores downtown.
Wow. And now look, it's a really
everywhere.
cool, bustling place.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this, Kaye, don't get mad at me. There's the one thing that I'm not a fan about having children. The only thing.
And what is that?
Thing. I can't go into antique stores right now.
Oh.
Because Bridget and I never thought that I would be a guy that likes to go to antique stores.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a few in Georgetown. And Bridget and I one day were just walking around. We went in. I was like, this is kind of cool. It's like an old vintage garage sale every time you walk into one. And I just developed this bug for going antiquing. And before we had children, anywhere we'd go and I'd see something on the side of the road. Driving down, was that 290, I think, heads into Houston from Austin. And Page, Texas, there's all these just random antique stores. I told Brett, we got to pull over. I used to stop at all these antique stores.
So it gets in your blood. That's actually how we got started owning our own antique store. Was it gets in your blood. Every time you travel, you go through the antique stores, look around, and the next thing you know, you've bought all this stuff that you're like, what am I going to do with it? So I opened up an antique store. But I raised my boys the same thing. They loved going into antique stores because then they would go find the old toys, old marbles, so there's something in there for everyone and every age.
I would always look for things that had lead paint, and then I maybe could get things for free, after I come. No, I'm just kidding. It's not that is something you got to be worried about, though, with a lot of old vintage stuff. So, well, Terri Coleman's here. We're not talking antiques all morning. We're going to switch gears and talk about the real estate world. Terri is our real estate expert here on Hello Huntsville. We've been talking the last couple of times you've had us in, or had you in. Time before last, you mentioned this may be happening. Well, it did happen, and now the court approval is pending for the National Association of Realtors nationwide settlement. That's going to impact commissions and even some stuff in the MLS. So can you give us some updates? What happened since we last saw you?
Well, everything has gone into effect on August 17th. It went into effect. We have got some mandatory things that the industry just has to deal with. And, actually there could be some good things. For one is we no longer can put in MLS. MLS is the body, the website that all realtors use to advertise their homes in. So if I just took a listing in Elkins Lake, I put it in MLS, multiple listing service. Now, any agent anywhere, Huntsville, outside of Huntsville, can go in, pull up Elkins Lake, and see what all houses are for sale there. So that's how we communicate with each other, is through that. And at one time, you used to be able to put how much commission is being paid to the buyer's agent. You can no longer do that now. That spot is gone. You cannot advertise in MLS how much the buyer's agent is going to get paid. That is negotiated between the buyer's agent and the buyer. That is their business, what they do, and that is negotiated between them. The other thing is you now have to sign as a buyer, you have to now sign a buyer's rep with your agent before you even walk into a house. Now that buyer's agent rep, not this particular one, but the idea of a buyer's agent rep, that's been around for years, 15 years or so. It's just it wasn't utilized like it is now. Now it's mandatory. You have to sign a buyer's rep before you can even walk into a piece of property.
So if I'm looking for a house and I want to see 15 houses, I sign 15 different documents?
No. No. What you can do is if all 15 houses are in Walker County, then your buyer's rep should say Walker County. Okay. Now, if your 15 houses are in Elkins Lake, you can define it to say Elkins Lake. Now, I'm not suggesting this, but let's say you're working with more than one realtor or you have more than one realtor friend, then you can say Susie Q, you can sign Susie Q's buyer rep for just Elkins and then a buyer's rep for it. But what that's going to do is it's just going to cause you more headache and problem. It's better to pick one realtor and work with them.
Well, some very good insight. And we've got the full article up on HelloHuntsvilleTX.com under our real estate experts section, and Terri Coleman is on there. Terri, I know this. I'm kind of throwing this out of left field, and again, I don't get political on this show, but I was hearing last night, and I verified this news, that the U.S. Labor Department grossly, here we are in an election year, grossly underestimated the amount of job creations. I think it was at 2.9 million. And the current administration has been touting this, saying, oh, look at all these positive jobs. Well, now they've had to roll back on that and say that they grossly underestimated this, and the negative, that there was actually about 1 million jobs less than what they were thinking. So that's a huge number. The reason that I bring this up is now this could cause the Fed to want to dramatically lower interest rates again. How could that type of information affect the housing market? Because I know a lot of people have been holding back because interest rates have been higher. What do you typically see as a real estate agent whenever these interest rates are where they're at now? And are people really waiting around for them to go lower? I mean, if someone wants a house, do they just go get it? What do you see in the industry?
The majority of the people are waiting for it to go lower. The only thing is you can't really predict that. I've been hearing since January 1st that the second quarter, we're going to see a lowering in interest rate. The third quarter, we're going to see, and it really hasn't happened. So it may happen, but what I tell people is go ahead. If you see the home you want, buy it. 5-6% interest rate is a good, steady interest rate. I mean, that is just a solid interest rate that's always been kind of back in the day.
Yeah, mine was 6 1/4 back in the day when I bought.
Yeah, I mean, it's much better than my first one, which was at 14 and 16. So buy the house you want, and then refinance if it does go down. So
when is a good time? And I know that there's mortgage guys that do this kind of math and stuff, but from you being in the industry, do you recommend people maybe wait a year or two? What's kind of the thing for whenever people refinance? Or is it just if you see something good, go for it and do it then?
Do it then. Yeah, do it then, because you can't predict what the feds are going to do. But one thing you can predict is that the cost of real estate is going to continue to go up, and up. So right now, let's just say you're looking at a $350,000 home. Well, unless it's a brand new home, at one point in time, that home was $150,000. Yeah. I mean, the real estate is just going to keep going up. It does not do that. And every now and then we see a dip, but that's not very often.
I try not to get FOMO, the fear of missing out. That's a big word these days that people throw around. And I'm going back looking at my house that I sold in Georgetown, Terri.
And you wish you hadn't sold it.
I was so happy when I bought that house. And I thought it was expensive. 2006, $114,000 is what I paid for it. Paid it down over 13 years, so had good equity built up in it. Sold it for $265,000. I was feeling good, right? Man, $265,000, 13, 14 years of paying. That's a good chunk of equity. That's how we were able to put down money on our current home. But then I go and look. They have that house valued now, and it's sold after the person that bought it, they put about $100,000 into it. I didn't have the money to do it. Turn around and flipped it for $415,000. And now it's valued at almost $500,000. And I look at it, I'm like,
Perfect
how is
example of what I'm talking about?
It's a tiny house that there's nothing special about the house other than the location, and people want to move to that market.
Well, you also said they put $100,000 into it, so that means we have about $365,000. So I mean, and you're talking how many years for it to have appreciated?
But that's crazy.
And then you're talking about when the interest rates go lower, then people are trying to sell their houses and stuff like that. Well, that drives the market up. More people wanting houses. I mean, we saw that when all the people from California were trying to come here, how much the housing went up here. And so it's all supply and demand. And, if you don't have that many houses, it's going to drive the price up even more.
Exactly. And then when it levels out, the prices of the homes really don't come down that much more. So, because they've already reached that spot. And then if they come down, they may come down $5,000, $10,000, but they've already went from here to here, and now that's the level.
I got two more examples of this. Maybe somebody this morning, even a young person, I encourage you, if you're paying, for me, I bought when I was 20 or 21, and I remember it vividly because I was paying like $1,100 a month in rent. Mm-hmm. Well, this mortgage was at the time. I wish it was still this. It would be nice with all in everything, escrow and all that is $900 a month. Mm-hmm. So it made financial sense for me to just buy a house. I'm saving $200 a month, and I learned that a house is like having a bank account in a good market.
Yes.
Now Detroit, not so much back in the day, but in a good market, someone said that's like a savings account that you're putting money into.
That's right. You're building equity.
Yeah, and I started thinking about that, Terry, and when we bought our house here. We've had it for a little over 2 years now, and based on market trends, in 2 years, equity in that house already is like $86,000. Mm-hmm. I'm like, that is nuts. Now, would it actually sell for the amount? Maybe not, but there's still a good chunk of equity in that in just 2 short years. And another example of it is when I sold my IT company, I bought this tiny little lot out at Lake Buchanan in Burnett, Texas. It was 90 by 60. Small little lot, like I'm talking 0.11 acres, right?
Yeah.
2 streets away from the lake. It's up high, so there's no flooding opportunity. And the neighborhood needs some work. But I was like, it's a no-brainer. They only wanted $2,000 for this lot.
Yeah.
I bought that. I get letters in the mail at least once a month now. People offering 15, 16, 17 grand for that tiny little lot now. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting there thinking, man, I should have bought up the other ones that were around there at the time.
Exactly.
So I want to encourage people this morning. I'm not saying don't develop the FOMO, the fear of missing out. But I'm going to tell you, if you come across something and you feel like you have the resources, do it. Because you're going to look back on it. I got another example. I was renting a house in downtown Georgetown from a guy, $600 a month. The downtown Georgetown area is one of the most sought-after areas of towns in Texas because of the beauty of that downtown square. That guy was renting it for $600. He offered me that. Well, if you're interested in buying a house, I'll sell it to you for $60,000.
Wow.
$60,000. Little. It was 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom, real small, 800 square foot house. Beautiful little house. It was real tiny, and perfect for me at the time. I saw the other day that house sold for like $490.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Should have got it.
You talk about fear of missing out. My thing is regret. I can't tell you how many properties I drive by, and in fact, there's one in New Waverly. It's on 15 acres. We had the opportunity to buy that property maybe 10 years ago for $150,000. And we didn't do it, and now that property has recently sold for over $500,000.
Wow!
And that's only been maybe 5 years ago. So yeah, I drive around town, and I'm a realtor. These are things I should have jumped on and done, but the deal was I was concerned about the money, about being able to make it cash flow, and again, I should have. So I'm just as like any other buyer or seller. I have my regrets that I should have bought this, should have bought that, but I'm telling you to buy. So buy.
Kaye, you and Rick and I need to go in on this. This is one that's in my gut. If I had the money, I would do it right now. There was a house that's recently renovated. I'm not big on the pools because pools require a lot of upkeep. Does a pool add value to a home? I always wanted to ask you that.
It does in the form, not really monetarily wise, but it does in the form of satisfaction to that buyer. There are certain buyers that will only look at houses that have pools, and so it's just another asset to add. Like now, the big asset is Generac. If you have a Generac connected to your house, well, if you have a swimming pool, that's another asset. But as far as adding economic value to it, dollars, a little bit, depending on how it's built, how it's landscaped, all that stuff. If you've got like the outdoor kitchen with it and all that stuff.
There's this beach park in Pasadena. It's only an hour and 45 minutes away. Kaye and Rick, I'm just letting y'all know about this.
Well, I want to know about it. I was raised in Pasadena.
El Jardín Beach. Beautiful. Just small little beach, but it's waves. It's just like you're at the ocean, and it's really cool, and it's right there in Pasadena, right on the coastline.
Really?
And it's called El Jardín. In fact, my sister's coming into town over Labor Day, and that's where we're going to go. I found this little I just found it on Google. One day I Googled beaches near me here in Huntsville, and that was the closest one that I found. And we went, and it was great. It was easy to get in and out of. There wasn't a ton of people there. Well, guess what? There's a neighborhood that you drive through to get to that. And houses are right there, right near the water. Literally 3 streets away. You could walk to this.
Really?
There is a house that they just remodeled. I'm sitting here thinking, man, if I had the money, this is a no-brainer. It's an Airbnb. This would be perfect. They only wanted this house, by the way. It's like 4-bedroom, 2-bath, beautifully done, remodeled, modern, pool in the back. You could walk to the beach in less than 2 minutes. $299,000 for that home. And I know like some of those areas aren't the ideal, but I'm sitting there thinking, man, for an Airbnb and a family that wanted to get away on a weekend, you could easily rent that thing out for $300 a night, $400 a night. I started telling Bridget, man, we need to get 9 family members together. So that's 10 of us. We'll timeshare this bad boy for 6 weeks out of the year. We each get it and just get now. Then what? Then it's when the family don't pay, then you're in trouble. But still, I think that's an incredible. That's one of those.
Check this place out. I bet. Now, what's it called again?
El Jardín Beach.
I wonder how long it's been there, because I was raised in Pasadena. I never heard of El Jardín Beach.
That's where we're at. I mean, it's El Jardín Beach Park, right there on the coastline. We just randomly found it. It's beautiful, and I'm sitting there looking. I said, man, there's a house for sale for $299 right there off the ocean.
That sounds like a steal.
Yeah, so that's one of those.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to look back and say, man, I regret that.
That's right.
But I don't have the money to buy it. That's the problem. So, but anyways, I just wanted to tell you, if you have the resources, do it.
That's right. Do it. Because it's just going to continue to go up.
Kaye, did you have any questions for Terri? I know that we've been talking a lot of real estate. Anything on your mind that you wanted to ask her? Maybe if she's got some money, wants to go in on that little house I was just talking about.
I was looking at my husband over there going, he likes the beach.
I think it's a new candy cave for 0 Degree Creations. So, well, no, Terri, we appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
It's always so wonderful to catch up with you and just to learn more about the real estate market, to answer our questions. By the way, Terri comes on once a month or so, and if you have questions, you can always email those in to us at hello@hellohuntsvilletx.com. Again, it's hello@hellohuntsvilletx.com. Send in those questions, and Terri will be more than happy to answer them. If there's something she can't answer, she'll point you in the right direction.
That's right. I'll be glad to.
Awesome. Terri, thank you so much.
Well,
so good to have you this morning.
Thank you.
Good having you.
All right. Well, we're going to continue on, Kaye, with maybe a little Wednesday wisdom when we come back. We haven't talked about it yet, but I'm sure there's some. She already gave us some, but maybe there's a little bit more lurking in the mind of Kaye Boehning. So we'll take a quick break. Before we do break, keyword continues bus. All you got to do is text in bus along with your name on the 0 Degree Creations phone and text line. That number 936-339-0139. Got $20 coming your way. Maybe today you have never texted in the show. Today is your day to text in because you might just win. We'll step aside, take a break. As always, our shows on this wonderful Wednesday brought to you by our friends at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. Hey, if you've got a child looking to find a place for them to go, not a daycare, but a place that they can learn, this is the place that we have our children, and we highly recommend Tomorrow's Promise. Check them out online at tomorrowspromise.info. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. More to come. It's your show. This is Good Morning Huntsville.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
Welcome to Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville, where we've been caring for your furry family members for over 4 decades. Nestled at 877 IH 45 South, our kennel is a perfect retreat for your pet. With a climate-controlled facility, spacious exercise yards, we ensure a comfortable and enjoyable stay. At Magnolia Kennel, we offer a range of options including overnight boarding, extended stay boarding, and doggy day out. But that's not all. We also provide additional pampering services like baths and nail care to keep your pets looking and feeling their best. Making a reservation is a breeze at magnoliakennel.com. We take great pride in our dedication to the community, supporting our local fire departments by providing oxygen pet masks. Stay connected and enjoy adorable pet updates by following us on Facebook. Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville is where dogs get to be dogs. Visit us at magnoliakennel.com to book your pet's next stay. We can't wait to meet your 4-legged family members.
Hey friends, Rob Hipp here for Elliott's Jewelers. I wanted to take a brief moment to let you know if you're looking for someone in the jewelry business right here in Huntsville, look no further than my good friend Elliott Herslick. He's helped me out time and time again, whether it was that wedding band that I needed a while back or that special ring for Bridget. He's always been there for me. He goes above and beyond. He's also a person who gives back to the local community. I like to do business with those who give back, and that's exactly what Elliott Herslick of Elliott's Jewelers does. Hey, if you feel like you don't know what to do, maybe you don't know where to turn, what to look for, Elliott is the person. Again, it's Elliott's Jewelers. You can visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com for more information. And when you call him, let him know that you heard from his good friend Rob Hipp. Again, it's Rob here for Elliott's Jewelers. Visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com.
The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based 501c3 nonprofit Christian character building ministry helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addictions. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. For more information, visit oakridgedisciplehouse.com.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
Welcome back. That is refreshing, Rick. Oh, do that one again. Hold on. Sound like a hobbit.
Maybe I am a hobbit.
Sound like a sick
I'm
hobbit.
I'm a closet hobbit.
Sound like a sick hobbit. Oh. Welcome back. Larry Harris joining us. Good morning, Larry. Good to see you, my friend. Says interesting interview. Interesting. Always interesting to have Terri Coleman on. I thought he was talking about us going, ready, Rick, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Boy, that felt kind of relaxing.
Did it?
People are going to walk by here, and I'm going to be doing that. They're going to hear that through the window. Be like, what's that guy doing? You're going to...
Obscene phone caller.
The new mindfulness exercise.
It is. It's the new mind. And by the way, I only charge you $50 a session to do that.
Really?
That's it. Yeah, just to sit here for 10 minutes and just go, okay, here's how you relax today, sir. Oh, by the way, I need to swipe your credit card first. Okay, thank you. Today,
wait. Tip.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Oh, yes, tip. Yeah. Oh, sir, look at the screen and choose a choice there. Pick a choice, sir.
35%.
There is no zero option. You know, do you ever have that when you go to I want to go to Europe because I heard in Europe they don't ask for that. It's not a thing in Europe. It's only in America that they're big on the tips. And I know friends. I've had friends that work in the Bridget worked in the service industry. I get it. But I don't think you're entitled to it. If you do a good job, yes, you're going to get it from me. But you don't need to sit there and tell me, hey, here, pick one. I respect places that I go when they straight up tell me, hey, if I did a great service, would you mind? I don't know how to word this right. I'm trying to think of the way to word it because
give me money.
No, it's just like hey, no, they'll say it like this. If you want to leave a tip, feel free to do so. I respect that more than pick something there if you want. Just straight up, if you want a tip, just say, hey man, if you felt like I did a great service, would you mind giving me a tip? Be honest and tell me. Yeah, I'll give you a tip. But if you throw something in my face and go, oh, pick one. I ain't picking nothing, man. You get a big fat 0 because you You need to straight up ask me if you want it. I'll give it to you. It's like that guy. It's your money. Get it when you want it. I do tip, by the way, and Bridget put this into my heart years ago. 20% is kind of the general rule of thumb. Now, I'll be honest. When I go to Sonic, I'm not a 20% tipper at Sonic. I'm just not. There's always something when now someone from Sonic's watching. Like, I never serving this guy. but you know what I'm saying though? Like when I go to Sonic, there's just something different about that. I don't know what it is. And I think maybe I'm wrong, but I think that folks that work at Sonic get I think they get a minimum wage. The serving wage is way lower than a minimum wage.
Yeah,
so I get it with them. But like, I'm not going to give 20% on top of if you're already getting a good, I don't know. I'm digging myself into a hole here.
You are.
Bottom line is I'll tip you.
If I go to a sit-down restaurant, I nearly always leave it.
Yeah, I do it. I always do. It's 20% minimum is usually. One day back in the getting to know Jesus days, I had a little too much wine, and I ended up leaving a tip that I probably shouldn't have left. I'm not talking low. I kind of goofed on this one. I may have put an extra 0 on something. Wow. Yeah, I did. Wasn't too happy about that one. Now the person that was serving us was, thank you so much, like giving us a hug. And did you ever see that?
You blessed them.
Yeah, it was a blessing.
I'm sure.
The wine.
There might have been
the wine.
Sometimes if you get to the backstories of some things, it's kind of like they might have prayed that they had a bill due or they had this or that. Their child was sick or something, and then all of a sudden you make a mistake on the tip, and it didn't hurt you, kind of thing.
Oh, this one kind of hurt. So I was like,
but
how am I going to pay that next month?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
he left a $10,000 tip.
No, nothing like that.
But it might have been that was an answer to their prayer.
I'm going to say it was several hundred. Because we went to it was a nice steak restaurant. I had a little pocket change back then. It was before I had children and
I've been there.
Yeah, it was back when it really wasn't the wine. I was just like this. There was something that I'll be transparent. There was something I noticed with this guy that was just off, and I could tell that he was down and out. And you get that tug in your heart, and if you ever have that, and you're and look, I'm telling you, you don't have to give large amounts, but there's something that tugs at you, and I believe sometimes that's the Holy Spirit talking to you, saying, you know what, bless this person a little bit more. And that's what it was that day. For me, there was something tugging that's like, man, this person's been good to us. At that time, I had the resources to do it, so I did it. And I didn't make a big deal out of it. And I thought, Rick, though, did you ever see that movie Deeds with Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know how he's at that restaurant and like he gives like at the beginning he's on the date and he's like, see that couple over there? And he like pulls out a big fat stack of cash, like $10,000, and he hands it to the server. Well, then the next scene it goes back to showing that couple, they're dancing on the table. It wasn't that kind of money, but it was pretty cool. So that's some of my inspiration for you this morning. That if you feel something, now I'm not telling you to like go out and drain your bank account. I'm not saying that at all. But if you have the resources and something's tugging at you, listen to that, because you never know what different. I mean, it doesn't even have to be monetarily. It may be something. You may see somebody walking down the street, and you feel a tug on your chest saying, "I need to go over and tell that person everything's going to be okay." Go do it, and because you never know that person. Literally, I think about things like this, Kaye, that are very serious. That person may be on the way to end their life. And that they've been hoping that somebody would stop them and say hello to them. And it happens, and it's the truth. And so if you feel that tug, know that you quite literally can save somebody's life. And I believe that's the power of God and the Holy Spirit working through your life. And you need to be mindful of that. I know we joked around about being mindful, but you need to be mindful about, Jason Thompson always says, be aware of your surroundings for safety. Mm-hmm. I think, too, you need to be aware of your surroundings for other people's sake. What can you do to help them? So, a little bit of my inspiration this morning, Kaye. What's been on your mind today? I know we've talked about quite a few things. We were talking about the tablet stuff earlier, but what have you got? What do you have conjuring up in there in that Kaye Boehning wonderful brain of yours? Rick's like, quit buttering her up, man.
There's so many things going on in there that you don't want to know about.
There's so many conjuring up there. Yeah. I'm seeing that like that black iron pot, and then like someone going, and there's like
That's exactly what's going on in there. Exactly. Fumes are coming out.
There's Lucky Charms like glistening in the air.
Yeah.
Sparkles. Unicorn. No, I'm just kidding, Kaye.
It's kind of dark in there, too.
Well, you got to push that murky water out of the way in that pot. Then there's the shining pot in the middle.
Right now, there's probably a lot of that since I've been accessing that file cabinet that's back there that has all that, TEA information in it.
But no, seriously, what's going on?
I've been out selling the last few tables that we have available for Lasso.
It's just me.
Yeah, I know y'all been busy.
Been out in the community, and this is I'm going to tell a story that happened to me yesterday because you were talking about that tug, and this is something that Rick and I usually don't talk about, but I went and ate at a restaurant yesterday, and walked out to my car, and I thought, we were the last people in the restaurant, so I went out and got a flyer to go back in and talk to them about maybe donating a gift certificate or something for the event. And when I walked back in, I was joking around saying, the restaurant's empty now, and I could talk to them and not bother them, kind of thing. About that time, a veteran walked in by himself, had on the hat and everything. He sat down, and the waitress went over and waited on him and stuff, and so I was talking to him about the program and everything, and when she came back, I said, I want to pay for his meal. And they said, do you know him? And I said, no. And they was like, well, why are you paying for his meal? And I said, it's just something my husband and I do a lot. I said, we'll pay for veterans or firefighters or police officers or something.
If I happen to be in the restaurant at the same time, and they haven't paid yet, I'll usually get the check.
And they were like, really? And I said, yeah. I said, we've been doing that for years. And so 3 people, were impacted. The veteran, I think, was impacted. Now, he didn't know about it yet. Mm-hmm. But those 3 people were impacted by me saying, no, I don't know him. I just want to pay for his meal.
I think it's a great thing to do. And
so hopefully those 3 people have thoughts about maybe doing that or something like that, or helping somebody or giving somebody a smile.
Sometimes at Chick-fil-A, I'll pay for the car behind me.
Yeah.
The challenge today is do that. If you're at the restaurant, if you are at a fast food line, and those little acts of kindness, if you have the resources today, I encourage you to do it today. If you're cruising through the line, I go to McDonald's way too much. Literally, I go there probably 3-4 times a week. I'm on this weird McDonald's kick, man. I don't know what it is. There's some sort of powder they're putting in them burgers, man, that's like getting to my brain. I don't know if it's like the MSGs in that meat that keep it preserved, but, man, it's caked my brain. But do it today. If you're going to get something to eat, wherever you're at, just do it. And don't make, like Kaye said, don't make a big deal out of it. We were at IHOP.
When I left the restaurant, I did go over and put my hand on his shoulder and told him thank you for your service, and then walked out. But he has no idea that
if I pass somebody wearing one of those hats, I tell them thank you for your service.
Yeah, he has no idea that I paid for his lunch.
My dad, I miss my dad so much, and I'm reminded of stories every day about my dad. My mom and dad's anniversary would have been yesterday, too. I think 53rd, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm reminded of my dad, and he always wore a hat that said Vietnam veteran. But we'd go out to eat, and people would come up, thank you for your service, and he'd get mad at them sometimes. And I'm like, Dad, because he's like, I don't want people bothering me. I'm like, well, then quit wearing the hat then, Dad.
My dad wore a World War II hat.
Oh, and it was fun. I'll never forget. We were eating at a barbecue restaurant. This guy comes up and he's like, sir, God bless you. Thank you for your service. I promise, my dad was a good dude, but sometimes, man, he didn't want to be bothered, all right? And this guy, well, thank you, sir. God bless you. My dad says, whatever. He was basically like, whatever, because there was a lot of pain, though, through my dad serving.
Vietnam was hard.
And I think that's what happened. And so I told my dad, I just kind of chuckled, though, and I said, Dad, if you don't want people, showing their – and he didn't mean it like in a bad way. It's just sometimes it would hit him. And I was like, quit wearing the hat, man.
Yeah, and nobody would know if you didn't wear the hat.
It's like Rick going up to Rick, hey there, candy buddy. I don't like candy. Leave me alone. Well, quit wearing the candy hat, man. Candy buddy. Hey, candy buddy.
I kind of like that one, Candy Buddy.
CB.
It's better than Candyman.
Candy Buddy 19, CB channel 19. It'll say CB, Candy Buddy 19.
That's my new handle, Candy Buddy.
That's the new company name, CB19.
No.
Candy Buddy
too much like CBD.
There you go. You know, maybe be great.
Need to infuse a little of that candy.
Maybe great for the cells for the adults and the children.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Oh man, my sister said he never got mad at me when he and I. Well, he didn't. He got mad with me a couple of times. I'll never forget. It was at Johnny's barbecue in Salado. This guy was just hilarious. He's like whatever, and I was like, quit wearing it, man. Now my sister's right. He usually would say thank you, but a couple times with me he didn't.
My dad enjoyed wearing his hat and getting a thank you.
By the way, Candy Buddy is better than Perla. We just got that. We know we called Jason Perla. That's his nickname. So. The Horn said that it would be better to call you Candy Buddy than to call Jason Perla. So that's our
How did Perla come about?
Just randomly one day, I was looking at Jason Thompson. I said, "You kind of look like a Perla today."
Okay.
So real quick, we got to get rolling here in just a few moments, but we do have a few things today. Oh, it's National Brazilian Blowout Day today. So if you need that I think the Color Bar does those.
They do.
So if you need. Rick and I, let's head over there. Let's go see Birdie.
I do need a haircut.
I wonder if Birdie does those.
I don't think she'd do it with me.
Yeah.
There's nothing up here. That's why I wear the hat.
The Brazilian Blowout. That sounds like you went to a bad Brazilian restaurant.
It's supposed to reduce the fuzzies in your hair. It might be time for me to get one.
The Brazilian Blowout. Oh, man. It's Brazilian Blowout Day. It's also, hey, Rick, congratulations.
What? Candy Buddy Day?
No, it's National Senior Citizen Day.
Yeah, I am a senior citizen.
Congratulations. Today's your day. And that's really the only 2 days today that we're talking about. So Brazilian Blowout Day. Hey, senior citizens, head over to the Color Bar. Get your Brazilian Blowout. It'll work.
Is there a discount for senior citizens?
There might be. So that is kind of what today is. There's a lot of things that we get on here that just – they're not that funny or they're political, so I don't read them. They've been talking about Jennifer Lopez in this report every single day, and I don't ever read it.
Maybe she sponsors it.
No, I have no idea. There's really nothing in here today. They didn't even get this right. There was something in here that say that some people are using Chat GBT. It's called GPT.
Yeah,
I'm going to ask these guys for a refund. But they're saying that they use it to compose their breakup letters to their girlfriend.
What a great idea.
So, just as an example, I'm going to go to Chat GPT, and I'm going to say, compose a break. Now, this isn't for you, Bridget. This is all just in fun and games, not related to Bridget. Compose a breakup letter to my girlfriend. Make it funny, yet sad. And here we go. That's all I told it, okay? Dear girlfriend's name, I hope this letter finds you well. Well, or at least as someone who's about to read a breakup letter can be. This is horrible. I'm writing you with a heavy heart and a slightly lighter sense of humor because if I don't laugh, I might just cry. Remember that time we tried to cook together and we ended up setting off the smoke alarm, burning the pasta, and somehow turning garlic bread into garlic bricks? Well, our relationship has started to feel a bit like dinner. What started with the best intentions has somehow ended up in smoke with the side of crunchy disappointments. This is really good. It's not you, it's me. It's just that we've become like two puzzle pieces that look like they should fit, but no matter how hard you try, you just end up with a picture of frustration instead of a cute puppy. I'll miss the way you always knew how to make me smile, even on my worst days. I'll miss the way you somehow managed to turn every movie night into a marathon of terrible rom-coms that I secretly enjoyed. And I'll definitely miss the way you always stole the covers in your sleep, leaving me to cling to the edge of bed like a mountaineer on the brink of disaster. But in all seriousness, as much as it hurts to say goodbye, I think we both deserve someone who's as passionate about our quirks as we are about Netflix passwords. We've had a great run filled with laughter, love, and a few too many inside jokes about squirrels, but now it's time for us to take our own paths. Me probably wandering aimlessly into another doomed attempt at cooking, and you hopefully finding someone who won't accidentally set the kitchen on fire. So here's to us, to what we had, and the fact that we can look back and laugh, even the tears. Take care of yourself. And remember, you'll always be my favorite garlic brick. Yours, in memories and charred pasta.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I thought Kaye was kind of tearing up over here.
She was.
Man, if I received
that's the kind of letter she'd send me.
If I received a letter like that after the first paragraph, I'd throw that thing away. I say, just get out. I don't have to worry about that, and you don't have to worry about that. We're blessed.
We are blessed.
But I mean, that's the power of technology right there. So there's your ChatGPT breakup letter for those of you that may need it. A couple of other quick things here. Nothing really important. Circle K, this is good, has put out a bid to buy out 7-Eleven.
Really?
So I wonder if they're going to keep the Polar Pop, 79-cent Polar Pop. Circle K is famous for that.
I wouldn't know. I haven't been to Circle K in years.
That's a big deal. 7-Eleven's well known. I mean, one of the largest convenience chains.
Sadly, there was a convenience store chain in Amarillo called Toot and Totem.
Well, you better go down there and Toot and Totem.
Yeah. And 7-Eleven came in, and they eventually failed, and Toot and Totem bought them all out.
Well, Buffalo Wild Wings, speaking of tootin' and totin', they have a new ultimate bacon menu, which includes a bacon mac and cheeseburger, a bacon patty melt, and a BLT, and a new buffalo bacon sauce. Just think about that right there. I want to ask Cooter if he want to go out there to eat, because I'd just love to hear in the Cooter. I want to hear Cooter say, I'd like to get a buffalo bacon sauce.
I want to know how come buffaloes have sauce.
No idea.
They have wings, too. Did you know that?
Did not know. Did not know they have wings. I guess they fly.
Evidently.
Scientists have found that human beings at a molecular level, age at a molecular level in 2 accelerated bursts. Boy, don't be on the porcelain when you're 44, because it'll hit you at 44, and it's also going to hit you again at 60.
Uh-oh.
So
I'm past both of those.
Yeah, no more accelerated bursts, Rick. Sorry. Panda Express bringing back its blazing bourbon chicken. By the way, we had I had Panda Express last night. I haven't had it in forever.
I haven't had it in a long, long time.
Wasn't bad. Boy, this is horrible. Kaye, you will not. This is terrible. They've got it all on video. There was a guy walking up to a children's lemonade stand in Virginia and stole a glass jar that contained $40 they had earned. Wow. How low can you go?
That's pretty low.
Stealing change from a lemonade stand. Man, that is horrible. If you watch the Star Wars series, The Acolyte, do you ever watch Star Wars? Me either. Here's to hoping you enjoyed the first season. Dizzy says they're one and done with that one. Oh, great. Real quick, today's impossible question. 52% of Americans keep this even though it doesn't work. This is a good one because we've got a couple of them. 52% of Americans keep these even though they don't work anymore. What could it be? It's not a vacuum.
Computer.
Computer, that's a good one.
Phone,
that's a good one. So think about that. That's today's impossible question. A couple of, did you know, if there were 25 hours a day, Kaye, 25% of people surveyed say they would use the extra hour to exercise. Well, I'm not in that boat.
Why don't you just pretend there's only 23 hours a day, you use that hour.
Good logic, Rick. 40% of women said if they had more time to their day, they would do what, Kaye? 40% of women said that they would do this if they had more time in their day.
Be nice to their husbands?
Reading. They would read. 1 in 12 people will give their babysitter a gift for the holidays. Only 1 in 12.
I don't have 12 kids. So
only one day of Christmas,
good.
Not 12. Waiters and waitresses get 30% more in tips if they introduce themselves.
Really?
Hi there. How you doing? I'm Bart. Welcome in. I'd like to give you some chicken. And also a tip at the end. Thank you. 21% of us planning on cutting down drinking alcohol to be healthier. 21% of us.
I'm cutting down.
1 of 5 people should not one of 5 people will not eat fruit even though they should. 1 in 5 people.
Really?
I think we all should eat fruit. You know what the most profitable food item sold in American stores is? And now this makes sense. Most profitable food item.
Watermelon.
Probably
No.
Coca-Cola.
Nope. Pet food. Pet food. The most profitable item.
I believe that.
A survey found that what nickname is the most popular nickname given to their baby?
Bubba.
Hi, Bubba. That'd be awkward. Like if I go up to no, but I say like Bubba, but you say it with that East Texas. Hi, Bubba. You need your appetite, Bubba. I'm gonna start doing that to Kate, and Bridget's gonna get mad at me. Hi,
She'll
Bubba.
beat you.
I want my son to grow up and talk like, Hi, Daddy. Can you change my diaper? Hi, Bubba.
I'd say baby or sweetie.
Baby or sweetie. Peanut is
Peanut
the most popular nickname. Grocery stores sell a total of $5.5 billion worth of impulse buy items every single year.
I believe that.
And they get me. They get me at HEB because every time I go, I get the HEB Coke Zero and the H-E-B cheese balls, which, by the way, the H-E-B cheese balls, the little cheese puffs, they are way down in size, man. They're like peas. They used to be ping pong balls. Now they're down to peas. Just makes me angry, Rick.
I think you should probably have some freeze-dried candy instead.
Should. Couple of final things here. Pizza may be the most common dinner on Friday nights in America, but chicken number 2. Pizza number 1, chicken number 2. And a person second guesses themselves roughly 10 times a day. I do it probably about 100 times a day. I'm like, I didn't know about that. All right, let's go back real quick to our impossible question. 52% of Americans keep this even though it doesn't work. What is it? Your guess.
I said computer.
Your guess?
Phones.
Air fresheners. 52% of
okay.
people keep an air freshener even though they don't need it. Let's head over to that 0 Degree Creations phone and text line, and we'll wrap it up. Y'all got to go. I got to go. And here we go. If the technology will go. The button gets stuck sometimes.
Yeah. So does mine.
Quit pushing my buttons, Rick.
It's stuck. I tried.
Yes, sir. This is Ron McMurtry, Earl P. Dibbles, and Sally 1201. Here.
Hello, Rob, Rick, and Kaye.
Kyle, I don't know why the randomizer picked you. I'm kind of, it's one of those deals when it pops up a name. I'm like, man, Kyle, come on, man. And then I started.
Well, you're bummed up. Bummed out you didn't want to talk to me today?
No,
That's
then I
trying to say?
No, and then I started thinking, come on, man, that was some great brisket a couple days ago, brother.
It was
Come on, man.
really good brisket.
It was good, and it was very good, and that sriracha one that I made.
Oh, that was great.
I think that's my new favorite.
I think so too.
That sriracha brisket.
Sorry, Kaye.
She doesn't like it, but I do.
You didn't like the sriracha?
Yeah.
It had
She didn't try
She doesn't
it.
like hot.
Oh, you didn't? No, but it wasn't that hot. Kay, you would have.
No.
It would have been like
no.
She doesn't like anything
No.
spicy. That's why we get along so well.
This is what you would have thought of, Kay, if you would have eaten this chicken. Sriracha! Come on, Kyle, let's hear it. All right, there you go. That's your sriracha chicken, man. Hey, happy belated birthday, by the way, buddy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, what are you up to right now? Are you working? Where are you at, man?
I'm doing the supervising part of my job, where I get to stand in between a vendor and a customer that's probably going to start fighting.
Oh. All right. Well, we won't ask you what you're thinking. We're just thankful that you'll be safe, all right?
Yeah.
All right.
It's going to be a good morning.
Record that for us on video, and we'll play it tomorrow. Thank you, Kyle, for that. So. All right, brother.
I don't think you could put that on there.
Yeah. All right. Well, Kay normally asks a question, but we'll let you go. Sounds like you need to pay attention. So we appreciate you, brother. Congratulations. $20 coming to your Venmo today, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
God, he said that he's in the middle of a vendor and yikes. So, all right, no time to shine today. We got to get rolling. But Rick and Kay, thank y'all so much for being here. Any final thoughts before we go today?
Just appreciate your support.
I appreciate my support too.
Unleash your imagination. I wanted to end with this. Make sure there are still a few limited tables available. I want you to come out and be a part of this great event coming up in September. Go to unleashyourimaginationorg. Every single dollar raised will go to the Dolly Parton's Imagination Library for the cost of those books through the Tomorrow's Promise Educational Foundation. This money doesn't go into Kay or Rick's pocket or any of the staff. It goes right into the cost of covering those books. Where are we at now? Last time I talked to you was $1,040?
It's about 1,045, I think.
Awesome. So the numbers are going up. Free books for children 0 to 5. And that's all thanks to the great work by Kay and her vision in this community for supporting that. I know a lot of times when we have folks that win money on the show, they donate it back to you. I think because of that, I think we've given you a couple $100 this year just because of that.
Wonderful blessing.
And that pays for a couple of children. What is it,
That's
$35
right.
a year, I believe?
It's about $30 a year for a child to get a book. Between 25 and 30, depending.
Awesome. Well, please go to unleashyourimaginationorg. Make sure that you get those tables because they are selling out fast. Just a few are remaining, and that will be taking place again September the 14th. Is that correct?
That's correct.
September 14th over at the Walker County Fairgrounds.
And if they have a car, motorcycle, Jeep, truck, we're having a car show in honor of my daddy.
Awesome.
They have children. We're having inflatables, and you can pay $10 and play in them all day long.
It's going to be fun, so please mark your calendars. Community, come out. We'll have more information on our website, too, at HelloHuntsvilleTX.com. Rick, Kaye, appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Good to see you as always. Rick, love you, brother. Good to see you.
You too, sir.
And that'll wrap it up. We'll be back at it tomorrow as we continue on. Make sure to join us. We will be here on the show bright and early, 7:30 in the morning. As I end every show, reminding you this morning that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We're really not. We need each other. So please provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. Until next time, good morning and God bless. We'll see you. And a big thank you to Rick and Kaye for being here from Tomorrow's Promise. See you guys later.
Adios.
Bye.